Welcome to Ceramic Pottery and Sculpture Tutorials. This one is on pinch construction. So we're going to practice this pinch method of construction. It's actually believed to be the first method ever used. Take some clay and get it into a ball between the size of a golf ball and a tennis ball. Nice, even, consistent clay and soft plastic. Then you're going to make an indentation with I used my two thumbs like this, and I just push in a little bit and then spin the piece and push again and spin and push again. And I first go straight through this ball of clay to the bottom, and I get to about 1/2 inch, maybe 1/4 inch from the bottom. Now I'm going to start working out from the bottom out, and as I do, this clay wants to flare out into a plate. So when you're pinching, also be choking the rim closed. And work the bottom first. The rim wants to pinch out very thin very easily, so keep the rim thick. Keep this in your hand. If you set it on the table to pinch, you're going to get a flat spot on your piece. So we want a nice round pinch bowl. So pinch, spin, pinch, spin. As you do, you can kind of pull your thumb up a little bit to pinch and pull up, squeezing in on this piece. And as you come up, to keep this edge square, tap it on the table every once in a while. That squares it up. And when you pinch out this piece, remember that it does take practice. And so the first thing I'm going to have you do is cut this thing in half and see how well you did. What you're trying to do is make a bowl shape that is an even thickness from top to bottom. And to do that, to check that, you're going to set your pinch pot on a wire and pull the wire straight up through the piece. And then look at the wall of the piece and see if it's a nice even thickness. If it's thin anywhere, then you can kind of try to remember that that's an area that you want to keep a little thicker. So grab some more clay, and we'll try this again. And as you get better at pinching out a form, you can start to work on larger balls of clay. But when you're just first learning how to do pinched forms, it's really best to stay a little smaller than a tennis ball, larger than a golf ball. So again, I'm pushing down and spinning. I get to about 1/2 inch, maybe 1/4 inch from the bottom. Work the bottom first, then the sides. If it starts to crack anywhere, don't add water, just smooth it out with your fingers. It wants to flare out into a plate, so keep tucking that together. And as you work the piece up, every once in a while turn it upside down and tap it on the table to keep your rim nice and square. And then after you have kind of mastered how to create pinched forms, there are all kinds of things that you can do with pinch pots. So one of the things you can do is easily just bend the shape of the pinch pot into an apple or a pear or maybe a heart shape. In this case, little scoring and some water was added so that a stem and a leaf could be added secure enough so that it won't fall off. If you take a pinched form and you turn it upside down and you make some coils and just stack some coils and then gradually make them bigger and bigger, you can make yourself a little goblet. You can also take two pinch pots that you've made and put them together. And if you carve a little way out of the inside of one and the outside of the other one, they'll fit together like a box with a lid. And the pinch method of construction is great for making all kinds of things. So if I wanted to make a turtle, like this turtle here, I would start the mass from 2 pinched forms. I would pinch out one piece pretty wide, a smaller piece not as wide, and when I put these together, that makes the bottom shell and the top shell go together like the turtle. And then from there I can add the feet and the head. Now some people want to have a pinch pot that is nice and smooth. And if you want to do that, you can take a metal rib and work the side of the pinched form like this to smooth it out. But there are a lot of really good examples of pinched forms that are left pretty rough. This was made by a man in Japan who does these little pinched forms, and he leaves his pinch marks in them. But here we see a little area of detail where he's put a little crab. Looks like it's a crab in the rocks. And if we look carefully at the bottom of the piece, you might be able to see his stamp. That's his signature on this piece. And the last thing I want you to know about pinch is that it's really best to wait a day before you do the final pinch. So if I want this bowl nice and thin, I put it in a plastic bag, and then I get back to it tomorrow and I pinch it thinner. And now I can pinch it a lot thinner and the shape won't collapse because the clay has stiffened up a little bit. So the pinch method is great for making all kinds of things, and again, I encourage you to do a little research on your own and find out some other things you can make using the pinch method of construction. Thank you for watching.